Hey there, figure it's been quite a while, so I'll post a quick video update here for those that may be paying attention and have interest in getting the BIOPELLET reactor tuned up. So just a quick backdrop to the story. I had run the NOPO pellets, N-O-P-O, that Reef Dynamics was selling for almost a year, and I wasn't getting the results I wanted out of the reactor I have, which is the Reef Dynamics 500. It's one of their larger, if not their largest, that he sold at the time. And with some help in the forum, guys had suggested I really look at the flow rate. So I did that, and I upped the effluent line from the standard 1/4 inch, which is a real, tiny standard line you might be familiar with, to this 1/2 inch and a really nice valve here that I could adjust quite well. That's my effluent line, and there's my feed line. It's same size, use a 1/2 inch or 3/8 feed line off the manifold. And again, that manifold, there's my return. It's a 16,000 water blaster. Goes up to this manifold here. That's dumps to the sewer. That goes upstairs to the display, and then my manifold, carbon GFO BIOPELLET UV 57 watt. So a lot of changes I made to get the BIOPELLET reactor working. Number one, I turned my UV off and did that for a couple weeks. Number two, I upped the I had to drill in and tap this and screw this, so I got 1/2 inch line for feed and effluent on the BIOPELLET, and I had that puppy wide open for a couple weeks until it started to kick in. I also have that effluent line plumbed directly to my Super Reef Octopus Sump Saver 6000. It's a honkin' skimmer, and I put this wiper on there from a Vast Marine, and I got the overflow thing to help me from basically dumping crap back into the sump. So all that's been good. Oh, by the way, I'll tap that. Okay, 13 parts per billion. Wow, that's way down. Back to that in a second. So I ran into this problem with sludge building up, and so I ran the NOPO for a long time. I switched over to Two Little Fishes, because of availability. Honestly, they kind of disappeared for a while there at Reef Dynamics, and I needed some extra, so I figured, well, can't go wrong with Two Little Fishes. And I've kept my recirc, pretty consistent. I mean, you can see the flow rate there. It's pretty much textbook. Some may think otherwise, but it has worked for me. My nitrates went down from 100 parts per million on a Salifert to, I just tested a moment ago, at undetectable. I mean, clear as day. I have had it with the NOPO pellets. I got it down to like 5-10 parts per million pretty consistently, which I was happy with, but I really wanted to get to ultra low. And I'll explain that in a second as well. So fast forward to the past couple weeks, and I noticed the sludge starting to build up. Now this is nothing compared to what it was. I cleaned this reactor very thoroughly last weekend. I took it offline, I RO'd, rinsed everything. The plumbing was gunked. I mean, slime, sludge, like thick snot. Real bad, nasty stuff. And well, you can see it starting to come back, and that's what it looks like. It's not sponge, it's general nastiness. Now these Two Little Fishes pellets, they're small, disc shaped. They break down really fast. These pellets got my system, it devoided it of excess nutrients. I got down to 0 and 0. Well, a few weeks back, I started noticing my phosphates creep up. I mean, what did I just say that was? 13 parts per billion. That translates to like 0.03, 0.04. They crept up to like 0.1. So I said, all right, I'm not liking this. I'll throw GFO in, might as well. And I did that, and there's the GFO tumbling. I use RoaPhos. And then this sludge came. So is it the media, Two Little Fishes and their additives, whatever the heck it is? Is it the GFO that I since introduced? Why is my phosphate kicked up? Is it because there's no more nitrate? So I'm just toying around, and I'm not being overly aggressive with any changes here. I'm being patient, applying my 42 years on this planet, and half of that being a reefer, to some patients here, and also taking some advice. And I think I will go over to the Dr. Tim's. I really do think this is down to the media that's producing this sludge. I don't think it's flow rate. I will kick this up and fairly frequently, and there's wide open. And that's why I got a big reactor, because I like big stuff. Anyway, I'll kick that off to kick that up, and I'd run that for a minute or so as not to let the pellets, totally clog the recirc. But I'll kick that up to slough off anything, and I'll do that fairly frequently, I guess. But I never had to do it as much with a NOPO, and with the two little fishes, man, I tell you, it's like I would come down and I would see like this sludge layer starting to build, and it just started getting out of hand. So anyway, I'm going to switch out of that. Oh, there's my calcium reactor, and go to Dr. Tim's here. And what else have I been doing? Well, I changed my quarantine tank dramatically. I had a huge 175 gallon sump there. I downgraded that to a 40 breeder. I plumbed it such that I can tie this system back into my display just by a couple quick attachments. Run the drain over and pop that 7,000 water blaster, move it up over here, and we're good to go. And I did that because the water volume was just getting outrageous, and I just didn't want to keep it, and I wanted to get back to something more simple. So that's what I got going now, and I'm really happy with that. And blue picture here, but this Aussie stuff is doing great. It looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with it. I know you can't see it there, but that's an Ultra Fuego, a very expensive piece. Spathulata, Echinata, Tenuous, Staghorn, and Microlatus, or Shortcake as they are. So anyway, things are going great from that perspective. Here's the Dr. Tim's. I'm soaking that in RO for a couple days just to kind of, and you can see right off the rip, these are much chunkier than the Two Little Fishes brand. So I thank you for the advice. I'm going to run with that. The only other thing I'm thinking of now, and the upstairs tank is looking great, by the way. Again, mostly Aussie stuff, looking really good. Not Kritzoff picture perfect, but good for a hacker here in Rhode Island. Here's my RO unit, massive 1,000 gallon per day production. And why do I want big RO? Well, I don't want to wait to mix water. If I need it, I want it. So this has been wonderful. I can mix a 55 gallon brute in like an hour. Which is great, and I got that to a 3/4 horsepower pump, so that's going really well. The only thing I'm contemplating now is this is my calc reactor, which is 55 gallon brute with RO and a Coralia and calc. And what I'm debating now is, I think I'm going to stop adding calc altogether. I think I'm going to clean that out and just top off with RO. Why? I've got calcium reactors. The only thing I don't like so much is, drop in pH potentially, and the calc really does help keep me at 8.3, 8.4, whereas without calc I'm probably going to hit 8.1, maybe 8 if that matters. I do have my calcium reactors plumbed with the Masterflex so I can monitor that effluent. So I've always been about really monitoring consistent effluent, and speaking of which, the BIOPELLET, when I said I had that wide open, that would give me 335 mils in 10 seconds, which I forget the math, but it's a lot. So now I'm down to, that was like 350 gallons an hour, I forget. Anyway, now I'm down to 24 gallons per hour, and then etch that down even further to like 12 gallons per hour. So let's see what the Dr. Tim stuff does. I'll probably take this offline this weekend. I'm not going to rush and do anything now. And we'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Signing off. Appreciate the help.